Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful and kindle in them the fire of your love. How do we start our days? Do we rush into them already burdened by the weight of what lies ahead? Or do we pause, even for just a moment, to invite a presence greater than ourselves to guide us? In the stillness of the morning, there is a sacred opportunity to invite the Holy Spirit into our day, to set the tone for what follows. Let us explore a morning prayer that can help us invite the Holy Spirit into our daily lives. In the quiet of each morning, as we awaken to a new day, there is a profound opportunity to acknowledge our need for divine guidance. We often embark on our daily journey burdened by worries, fears, and uncertainties. In these moments, we can turn to the Holy Spirit, recognizing that our own strength and wisdom are limited. By acknowledging our need, we open our hearts to receive the Holy Spirit's presence and guidance. This acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but a profound act of humility and trust. It is an acknowledgement that we are not meant to navigate life's challenges alone, but are invited to walk in companionship with the divine. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, we surrender our own plans and desires, aligning ourselves with God's will. This surrender is a liberating act, freeing us from the burden of trying to control every aspect of our lives. In acknowledging our need for the Holy Spirit, we invite a transformative presence into our lives. We open ourselves to new possibilities, new insights, and new ways of being. We become more attuned to the promptings of the Spirit, guiding us along the path of righteousness. So let us start each day with a humble heart, acknowledging our need for the Holy Spirit, and inviting its transformative presence into our lives. Surrendering to the divine will is a profound act of trust and faith, acknowledging that God's plans for us are greater than our own. It is a recognition that our limited human understanding may not always align with what is best for us in the grander scheme of things. When we surrender, we let go of our need to control every outcome, and instead, we place our trust in God's perfect plan. This surrender is not passive resignation, but an active choice to align our desires with God's will. It is a willingness to let go of our own agendas and to be open to the possibilities that God has in store for us. In surrendering, we find freedom from the anxieties and burdens of trying to control every aspect of our lives. We are able to release our grip on the illusion of control and instead embrace the peace that comes from trusting in a higher power. Surrendering to the divine will allow us to live more fully in the present moment, knowing that we are held in God's loving embrace. It is a surrender that brings about a deep sense of peace and contentment, knowing that we are exactly where we are meant to be. So let us surrender our will to the divine will, trusting that God's plan for us is perfect and that it will lead us to a place of true fulfillment and joy. Seeking guidance and discernment from the Holy Spirit is an essential aspect of inviting divine presence into our lives. It involves recognizing our limitations in understanding the complexities of life and humbly asking for clarity and wisdom from a higher source. As we navigate the challenges and decisions of each day, seeking guidance allows us to align our choices with God's will, leading to a more purposeful and fulfilling life. Discernment is the process of distinguishing between what is of God and what is not. It requires us to listen deeply to the promptings of the Holy Spirit and to discern the path that aligns with God's plan for us. This process is not always easy, as it may require us to let go of our own desires and ego-driven ambitions. However, the guidance we receive through discernment leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and God's purpose for us. Seeking guidance and discernment is an ongoing practice that requires patience, humility, and a willingness to surrender to a higher wisdom. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our lives, we open ourselves to the transformative power of divine guidance, leading us to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Cultivating a spirit of gratitude is a transformative practice that allows us to recognize and appreciate the blessings in our lives. It is a conscious choice to focus on the positive aspects of our existence, even in the midst of challenges and difficulties. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, cultivating gratitude opens our hearts to receive more blessings and deepens our connection with the divine. Embracing God's presence throughout the day is a choice we make each moment to turn our hearts and minds towards the divine. It is a practice that requires mindfulness and intentionality as we seek to align ourselves with God's will in all that we do. As we cultivate this practice, we find that God's presence becomes a guiding light, illuminating our path and leading us towards a deeper and more meaningful relationship with the divine. Nurturing inner peace and calm through the presence of the Holy Spirit is a transformative practice that allows us to find refuge and solace amidst life's challenges. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, we open ourselves to a sense of stillness and tranquility that transcends the chaos of the external world. This inner peace becomes a sanctuary, a place where we can retreat to find rest and rejuvenation. Nurturing inner peace and calm is not about escaping from reality, but about cultivating a mindset that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. It is a practice of surrendering our worries and anxieties to a higher power, trusting that we are always held in the loving embrace of God. This practice of nurturing inner peace and calm is a continual process that requires mindfulness and intentionality. It involves tuning into the present moment, letting go of regrets about the past and worries about the future. As we cultivate this practice, we find that inner peace becomes a natural state of being, guiding us through life's journey with a sense of serenity and assurance. Practicing compassion and kindness is a natural outgrowth of inviting the Holy Spirit into our day. The awareness of God's presence in our lives opens our hearts to the needs and suffering of others, prompting us to respond with love and empathy. This practice transforms our interactions with others, infusing them with a spirit of generosity and understanding. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, we are reminded of God's unconditional love for all humanity. This awareness compels us to treat others with the same love and compassion that we ourselves have received. Practicing compassion and kindness becomes a way of embodying God's love in the world, making a positive impact on those around us. Practicing compassion and kindness is not always easy, especially in the face of conflict or misunderstanding. However, the presence of the Holy Spirit gives us the strength and courage to act with compassion, even in difficult situations. As we cultivate this practice, we become more attuned to the needs of others, making a tangible difference in the lives of those we encounter. Finding strength in times of difficulty through the presence of the Holy Spirit is a source of comfort and resilience. When we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, we acknowledge that we are not alone in our struggles. The Holy Spirit's presence offers us a sense of companionship and support, helping us to face challenges with courage and determination. In times of difficulty, the Holy Spirit becomes our rock, providing us with the strength and endurance to persevere. This strength is not merely physical, but a deep inner fortitude that allows us to withstand adversity with grace and faith. The presence of the Holy Spirit reminds us that our difficulties are temporary and that God's love and guidance are ever present. Finding strength in times of difficulty is a testament to our faith and trust in God's plan for us. It is a recognition that even in our darkest moments, we are held in the loving embrace of the divine. As we cultivate this trust and faith, we find that we are able to overcome obstacles with a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that the Holy Spirit is with us every step of the way. Reflecting on God's presence at the end of the day is a sacred practice that allows us to review and acknowledge the ways in which the Holy Spirit has been at work in our lives throughout the day. It is a time of introspection and gratitude as we take stock of the blessings and challenges we have encountered. As we invite the Holy Spirit into our day, we become more attuned to the subtle ways in which God's presence manifests in our lives. Reflecting on these moments helps us to cultivate a deeper awareness of God's guidance and provision, even in the midst of difficulties. This practice of reflection is not about dwelling on the past or regretting missed opportunities, but about recognizing the presence of the Holy Spirit in our daily lives. It is a time to offer thanks for the blessings we have received and to seek forgiveness for any shortcomings or mistakes. Reflecting on God's presence at the end of the day is a spiritual discipline that helps us to grow in faith and gratitude. It is a reminder that we are never alone, but are always accompanied by a loving and supportive presence. As we make this practice a regular part of our lives, we find that our relationship with God deepens, and we are able to navigate life's journey with a greater sense of peace and purpose.